Special meeting of the Board of Education is now called to order. I'd like to start out by making sure all trustees can hear the proceedings. Terry?
Yes.
Celeste?
Yes.
Rusty?
Yes, sir.
Bo?
Yes.
And Kurt?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. On behalf of the board, I'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our next item is to approve our agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda as presented?
Nothing from me, Randy.
Okay, very good. Is there a motion, please, to approve the agenda?
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion we approve the agenda as printed.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Celeste. Roll call vote, please, Barb.
Mr. Droppers,
Yes.
Mr. Rathburn,
Yes.
Dr. Shelton Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Van Antwerp,
Yes.
Mrs. Navaria,
Yes.
Mr. Snyder.
Yes.
Very good. The motion passes. We'll move forward with our agenda as printed. And I believe there are no comments from citizens this evening.
Correct.
Okay, we'll move right to the purpose of our meeting, and that is to go through our process for filling a board vacancy. And I just want to give some background here. We've been seeking applicants to fill the remaining term of Joanne Wilson until a successor is elected at the November 8th, 2022 election. Notice of the vacancy was posted on December 14th, and we accepted applications for 2 weeks ending December 28th. 6 applicants turned in applications. Mr. Derek D., Mr. Tim Earl, Ms. Sarah Elliott, Ms. Jessica Van Dyke, Mr. Lee Adams, and Keith Crowell. And our mission tonight primarily is to select applicants to interview on January 4th. The applicants that we choose to interview will receive an invitation to that January 4th meeting tomorrow, along with a copy of the suggested pool of questions for the applicants. So I'll open it up to discussion in terms of selecting applicants to interview.
Randy?
Go ahead, Kurt.
Okay. Obviously, I was the last person, whatever it was, 6+ years ago, to do that. But how many did we interview? Approximately 6, right?
We extended invitations to 6 out of a pool of 11. There was one candidate that dropped out before the interview, so we actually interviewed 5.
Okay.
Randy, I mean, if I could, I mean, I think this is pretty straightforward. We've got 6. I think we interview 6 people.
Yes, sir. Anyone have an issue with that? Well, I think it'd be good to do that too. Yeah, go ahead, Russ.
Hey, Randy, I'm sorry. I didn't have my mic on. I was trying to pipe in there. I just want to say how pleased I am with the applicants. You know, my biggest fear is that we wouldn't get any good candidates. And then some came across and we had some good ones and I breathed a sigh of relief. And now it's obvious we're going to have to make a tough choice because there's some very qualified people here. So I just want to say I wish they made it easier for us, but this is not going to be easy because we have some very high quality candidates. So I'm pleased.
Yeah, just to echo Rusty's, I mean, the Board of Ed is going to do fine here. And then the downside is we're going to have to say no to 5 people, which is always difficult. But you know, we'll let the process play out. But I mean, given the pool of candidates, we're gonna do okay. We're gonna do great. We're gonna do great.
Randy, at the meeting on Monday, as I recall, when I went through this process, each candidate also got a brief period of time to make their stump speech. Will that be part of this process as well?
Yes, it will. And I'll go through that process. And for everyone, it's laid down in our bylaws. So if anyone misses this broadcast, they'll be able to read it there.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Mhm. Well, I think we all appreciate everyone who applied for the position and their willingness to serve. And given the discussion, I think we should have a motion to extend an invitation to all 6 candidates to the special meeting of the board on January 4th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. The interviews and candidates will be there, and we will make the appointment on that evening as well. And once again, that meeting will be virtual. So if there is someone who'd be willing to so move and second that motion, we can get that done.
President Van Antwerp, I move that the board extend an offer to interview to the 6 candidates who have submitted their applications.
Second that.
Very good. It's a roll call vote, please, Barb.
Mr. Rathburn,
Yes.
Dr. Shelton Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Van Antwerp,
Yes.
Mrs. Novaria,
Yes.
Mr. Snyder,
Yes.
Mr. Droppers.
Yes.
Very good. The motion passes. I just want to spend a few minutes on our procedure for filling a vacancy. Each candidate on Monday evening, the 4th, will be allowed up to 15 minutes, including a 2-minute opening statement to respond to questions from board members. The order of interviews will be determined by a random drawing. We probably have to do that offline. After completion of the interviews, each board member will be given the opportunity to comment on the candidates. After completion of the interviews, each individual board member shall vote for his or her top 2 candidates. We'll be using an electronic ballot that will be provided to every board member. The board president or his or her designee will compile the votes and announce those candidates receiving 2 or more votes and how each board member voted. The president will announce the names of the candidates receiving 2 or more votes. Each board member will be given the opportunity to comment on the remaining candidates. In the second round of voting, each board member shall vote for only 1 candidate from those candidates remaining. An electronic ballot will be provided to each board member. The board president or his or her designee will compile the votes and announce the results of the voting and how each board member voted. If 1 candidate receives the greatest number of votes, at least 4, the board president will solicit a motion to appoint that individual to the vacancy on the Board of Education. Since we're using an electronic ballot, and that's going to be new to us, we may have a rehearsal with that prior to the meeting sometime on Monday. Anyway, we'll continue to repeat the process as needed until 1 candidate receives at least 4 votes. And as I mentioned, all 6 candidates will receive an invitation to the meeting on January 4th on Monday, along with the questions that at least point them in the direction the board is heading in terms of responses. Any other comments or discussion?
Randy, I'm just trying to remember the details. On that first round, when we vote for 2, is that literally we just vote for 2, or do we rank a 1 and a 2? I forget the nuances. Terry's shaking her head, so maybe there's the answer.
No, we just vote for 2.
We vote for 2, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming at the very end we would do some kind of a vote to make it unanimous. Is that I guess whether that's part of the process or not, I just vocalize that now.
Yeah, it certainly could be offered. It's not in the process, but nothing would prohibit us from doing that. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Anything else? Any other comments or discussion?
Randy, just want to pick up on the run through or rehearsal on that. I don't know if Dan wants to provide any input on how much time he might need to feel comfortable with that process.
Well, between now and Monday, I'd like to ask every board member to make sure you can sign in to your portageps.org email account. Your electronic ballots will be secured by that account email address. Obviously, it won't be an open form. If you have any problems with getting into your Portage email between now and Monday, please let me know directly and I will coordinate with you to get that resolved. I would like a half an hour on Monday just to review the process with a single ballot. We won't simulate multiple rounds, but just a single ballot for how I'll be collecting the votes from you and then displaying the results on screen during the meeting. One of the most important things I will want you to do is make sure that when you see your name on the screen, make sure that the votes that are listed next to your name are the votes you actually sent, just to make sure. That's A, to avoid any technical issues, but B, also to ensure a degree of election integrity in this process because we're doing it virtually. And the rest of the details I will provide to all of you via email over the weekend.
You're very good, Dan. Thanks for your help. We appreciate it. Anything else?
Randy, I don't know how you want to go about setting the time to do that. If you want to do that this evening, or if you want to wait until later to do that.
Dan, do you want to? Is there a time that would work for you?
I would like it to be before 5 o'clock, if only if we have any technical issues. I've got time to resolve them before the 6:30 start of the meeting.
5 o'clock or 4 o'clock work for everybody on Monday?
Just a second, Randy. Let me get my calendar open.
It's the first new business day of the new year, you know.
Right.
Who am I kidding? I'm available at 4. I just had to look and make it official, but I figured I'd know what the answer was.
So that's good with everybody. 4 o'clock on Monday for a run through with the electronic ballot.
It's good for Rusty.
Hey,
Okay.
Dan, I'm probably have to reach out to you tomorrow about my email. I'm not very good with that one. So look for something for me tomorrow so we can walk through and get that hooked up to my phone.
Will do.
Thank you.
And I will get a meeting invite sent out to all of you for Monday at 4 for the rehearsal, so to speak.
Okay, very good. Any other business? Okay, hearing none. Happy New Year. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Happy New